Good morning, right?
No, yeah, not
What
quite.
time is it?
It's nearly 9 o'clock in the evening.
See, in America, it would be dark right now. It blows my mind. It blows my mind.
It's great to have you back in the UK.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Enjoying your visit?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
For those who don't know about you, can you tell us a little bit how you became interested in Elvis, how you became an Elvis fan?
Yes, ma'am. I like to think somewhere around 4 or 5 years old is when I started getting in there with Elvis, but I can't remember a day when I didn't know who he was, and I don't remember a day when I didn't, think of him as, this great man, and I think the first thing that turned me on with Elvis was that greasy hair, he had perfect hair, he had the perfect cool look, the idea of cool was him, and then later on I discovered, all of his music and his movies, and it was just great. And the good thing about Elvis is like a never-ending story, I mean, for 20 years I've been, biggest Elvis fan, and every day I'm finding stuff out, and I'm just happy that I've been able to do what I've been able to do, and hopefully, and I can't do it alone. That's why it takes everybody, but to make a little difference, and if we all work together,
It's true. It's true.
But Elvis is that. Elvis could do it. He's got that power. He's got that something he had that changed the world. And I believe, we do our part. We try to make people happy.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've had congratulations on another amazing year for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You've had the concerts.
I can't believe it.
You've had the $1 Million Quartet.
I can't believe
TV
it.
appearances on Letterman.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that springs out as a highlight for you personally?
Gosh, I try to look at everything I do, no matter what it is something special, So it could be television or it could be a concert, but I always try to find that thing that I hold on to, and at the end of the day, it's, I've found that groove and to where it feels like it's fresh.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
it can get, a little rough, but,
You're enjoying it all.
I'm enjoying every bit of it, and I've always wanted to be on TV and play this music, and it's all come true.
Yeah.
I mean, it has.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Really.
The Surfer G Foundation, our dream is to make
Yes, ma'am.
the Surfer G like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spirit back to it.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're really proud to have you as our spirit.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy y'all invited me into the group. Oh, yeah.
And we know, well, obviously, we arranged for you to go to the ranch
Mm-hmm.
earlier this year.
Oh, yes.
What did you think?
That was great. I remember, let's see, what day was that? It was
Easter Sunday.
It was Easter, that's right. And, we were on tour with the $1 Million Quartet, and my buddy plays Johnny Cash in the show, Scott Morrell. At the time, I said, he's really into Johnny Cash or music in general. And he's into the history of things, and wants to check it all out, So I said, man, I'm going to the Surfer G Ranch. I said, you gotta come along, and so he said, okay. So we woke up, and we took off to the ranch, and it was great. It was great. And that's the ranch is one thing that, everybody, there's Graceland, there's Tupelo, there's these different spots, but it seems like the ranch has just always been sitting there. It's like,
It's true.
and there it is, and if if you're an Elvis fan and you kind of get him a little, just like we all do, every fan does, he had imagination, and he rode the horses, he shot his guns, and he was in the Western movies. I mean, and we all know that he loved that kind of stuff, and so I felt like with the ranch, when he got the ranch, it was that where he could go and do that. Yeah, it wasn't Graceland, it wasn't Palm Springs or anything like that. That was his ranch, that he'd always wanted.
That's right. I mean, there are quotes way back to '56 of Elvis speaking about wanting to own a ranch.
And then he got it.
And he got it.
And it's just been sitting there, and I think there's so many thing you could do with it, and it needs. I think it needs to happen. And we were throwing around ideas, but maybe we shouldn't say our ideas, because there's such good ideas. But and I love Elvis, and and I'll do whatever I can
Thank you
to.
so much, Cody.
Oh, I'll do whatever I can to help him.
I mean, your busy schedule, your busy life as it is, must give us a sort of a taste of what it was like for Elvis.
Oh yeah, and you know, and I'm doing small potatoes, you know, and you think Elvis from 1954 to 1977, he didn't stop.
Yeah. I mean, the ranch was a place that he escaped to.
Exactly, he could get on the horse, you know, throw his 6-shooter on, put the cowboy hat on, and everybody had. I mean, he could live out that. It was fun, you know. It's like the kid in him would come out, and that's great, you know, because we all have that within us. And he would, and that's where he got to go do it. I mean, I can't imagine the fun and that they had there. And there's no telling, you know, how great it could be if it could be fixed up and.
A wonderful place for fans to visit.
Oh, it would.
I'm doing it again.
Man, we got ideas. No, and I said if I ever if I make it and I get the money, I'll buy it. You know, I just hope it happens. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I think it needs to be done, and I know Elvis is looking down and just smiling. Oh, he is, and I hope that's you know, everything's working, it's helping out.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's doing well. I mean, how have your fans reacted when they found out?
Oh, it's great. It was. I remember when Dan got the call or talked to me about it. He said, "Cody, do you want to help save the Circle G?" I said, "Yeah, well, you know, tell me about it." And he explained the details, and he said, "You're going to be in Memphis." He said, "You're going to go down there and you're going to do it." And I just so happen to have a cowboy hat. I get it. I totally get where Elvis.
Yeah.
I'm like a kid, you know. Yeah. And I was in Harrison, Arkansas, and I went into the store to buy something for Letterman. I was looking for a jacket or something, and I remember I was driving a truck. I was driving this truck, and I live in a country town, you know. And I walked in, and I looked around, you know, and then I looked over, and there was these cowboy hats, you know, and I was like, I love cowboy hats. I love cowboy stuff. And this is before I didn't associate that cowboy hat with I'm going to wear it for the photos, you know. And so I bought this hat, and I remember putting that hat on, and I had this big old coat, and I jumped in my truck, and I was like, all right, man, cool. And my dad said, Cody, what are you doing with that hat? And I said, Dad, it's a cowboy hat, man. He's like, all right. And then I had gotten this coat on tour because it was so cold out, and I was wearing this really pitiful idea of a leather jacket. It was like almost like vinyl. I don't know what it was, but it was barely leather, you know what I mean? And my buddy said, gotta get another coat. So that's when I got that brown jacket. And then on tour, you know, I'm from Arkansas, so I always wore flannel shirts, you know, or blue jeans, and I had that flannel shirt, you know, and I always had the blue jeans and always had boots. So literally in Memphis, I happened to have every piece of that. And I remember waking up that morning thinking, Cody, what are you going to wear for this photo shoot? And I was like, well, there's my cowboy hat, there's the boots, there's the blue jeans, and there's the flannel shirt, and there it is, and that's how it happened, yeah.
Brilliant. Of course, we all know of Elvis's generosity and his benevolence. What do you think about us using the ranch to showcase that, and also to help the underprivileged and disabled?
It's something that's how Elvis was. I mean, we all know. I mean, and he didn't have to have the cameras around to do it. And that's how we know about this stuff is, you know, everybody's got their Elvis story, you know, and I think if Elvis can have anything and carry the legacy on, it's more than entertainment, and it's so much more than what the eye meets. It's deeper than that, and I think if we could do that and it can happen, that, you know, it needs to. If there's anything we can do about it, it needs to be done. I really believe it. I'd like to go there and ride a horse myself, you know. And
who knows?
Uh-oh.
So you're doing it again.
We're doing it again. Horse rides or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of ideas.
So I know you're busy, but finally, is there something you'd like to say to the Elvis fans who are watching? Do you think they should get involved? Should they support what we're trying to do?
I think so. I think if there's anything, you know, you know what they say, $1, you know, whatever. No amount too small, no amount too large, and whatever it is, whatever you think. I mean, going to Memphis and holding signs up, you know, I mean, whatever whatever can be done to help is helping. You know, and I'll do what I gotta do, and I know the boys will do whatever they can do. Oh, the boys will do whatever they can do. I mean, yeah, I think so. Elvis did so much for us. I think, you know, maybe we should do a little back. You know.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For spending that time.
Thank you.